so fascinating and so important. The decisions made in trade policy can ripple through economies, industries, and even individual lives. It's a reminder that in a globalized world, actions taken by one country can have far-reaching effects on others. Next up, we're diving into the wild world of international diplomacy and market dynamics. We're going to explore how unconfirmed statements by political leaders, like this recent claim by Trump about a phone call with Xi Jinping, can shake things up in the global economy. I'm calling this segment "The Power of Uncertainty: How Unconfirmed Statements Shape Markets."
Oh wow, that sounds intense. So, are you saying that just a single statement, even if it's not confirmed, can really move markets? That seems kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. You see, markets are like a giant mood ring. They react to everything from hard data to whispers in the wind. When a leader like Trump makes a statement, especially one involving another major power like China, investors start to speculate, and speculation can lead to volatility.
So it's like when you hear a rumor at work, and suddenly everyone's on edge, but no one knows if it's true or not.
Exactly. It's the same principle. Investors are constantly trying to predict what's going to happen next. If they think there might be a trade war between the US and China, they'll start pulling back on investments in certain sectors, or maybe even selling off stocks altogether. And remember, these markets are interconnected. A dip in one area can ripple through the entire system.
Right, right. But wait, so if China didn't confirm the call, does that mean Trump was lying? Or is it just a case of different narratives?
Well, that's where it gets tricky. In diplomacy, sometimes the truth is more about perception than fact. China has its own reasons for not confirming the call. Maybe they don't want to give too much credence to Trump's narrative, or maybe they're playing their own strategic game. The thing is, uncertainty itself becomes a factor. Investors don't like uncertainty, they want clarity. So even if the call did happen, the fact that it's disputed adds to the instability.
Okay. But what about the tariffs? Trump has been putting tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada. Does that have a bigger impact on the markets than just a phone call?
Oh, absolutely. Tariffs are like throwing a grenade into the global supply chain. When you slap a 10% tariff on Chinese products, it doesn't just affect the companies directly involved. It affects consumers, manufacturers, and even other countries that rely on those goods. For example, if a US company imports parts from China to build electronics, now those parts cost more. That extra cost gets passed down to the consumer, which can slow down demand. And when demand slows, businesses cut back, and that's when you start seeing layoffs and economic slowdowns.
Whoa. That's a lot to unpack. So it's like a domino effect.
Exactly.
Here's where it gets even more interesting. Trump